and government watchdog and the Yesh Atid party both filed petitions to the High Court of Justice on Thursday morning requesting that it strike the newly passed police recommendations law as unconstitutional. The law, which passed after multiple days of dramatic filibustering by opposition parties who called it a controversial law aimed at covering up the government's public corruption, has been debated for months through the lens of the current probes against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other politicians. Be the first to know. Join our Facebook page. Function D S ID var JS FJS equal D get elements tag name S 0 if D get element bid ID return JS equal D create element S JS.id equal ID JSSRC equal / connect facebook.net/n_us/all JS number XFBML equal 1 and app ID equal 1634148068997 FJS parent node insert before JS FJS document script Facebook JS SDK. Netanyahu eventually consented to the law not applying to probes being conducted into his own affairs. This means that the police can publish their expected recommendations to indict him in one or more corruption investigations. However, whether the law protects him from the publicizing of police recommendations against Netanyahu in the separately investigated so-called submarine affair, if he ever officially becomes a suspect, and other probes against MKS is still under debate. Generally, the idea of the law is to place certain restrictions on the police, preventing the body from making recommendations to the prosecution regarding certain cases or to restrict publication of those recommendations. The NGO, the Movement for the Quality of Government in Israel, attacked the new law on a range of grounds. For one, it said, the law's language is so vague that those it potentially targets, police or other law enforcement officials who would publicly share information about their recommendations for criminal probes, may not know about how to comply with it. The movement's petition added that the law violates several constitutional principles, including the right of the public to be made aware of certain information, the value of public oversight and criticism, the public's right to elect officials, equality before the law, and the public's faith in law enforcement. More specifically, the petition said that the public's right to elect public officials includes the right to know their full record, such as if the police have recommended to indict them in an ongoing investigation regarding equality before the law. The petition said that the law would grant special treatment to public officials. The NGO requested that if the law is allowed to stand, that at the very least the High Court order that it will not apply to public officials. In addition, the NGO objected to the fast-track procedures used to push the law through the Knesset faster than usual. It contended that the Knesset committee that debated the bill was not, in fact, authorized to do so, and only moved it forward because it was controlled by government officials who were committed to ensuring the law's passage and to covering up public corruption by coalition officials. Further, the group said that the law harmed the principle of reciprocal feedback between different arms of law enforcement, the police and the prosecution. Yesh Atid's petition focused on the claims that the law still provides a way to defend Netanyahu from his criminal probes. Its petition, filed by MK Karen El-Harer, also noted that after cutting through the law's provisions, it turned out that the prohibition of publicizing police recommendations really was almost exclusively directed at public corruption cases, since it likely only applies to 0.0005% of cases, namely cases relating to public officials. Moreover, Yesh Atid's petition asked what the government officials have to hide.